diving into a technological showdown that could literally redefine reality itself: quantum computing versus artificial intelligence. And listen, this isn't just about building faster computers. It's a fundamental shift in how we solve problems, and it is happening right now. So let's break it down.
So here's the big question we're tackling. Are we about to see AI get outsmarted by a totally new kind of machine, one that literally plays by the rules of reality itself? Or will AI figure out how to harness that quantum power and become something we can't even imagine? It's a huge question. So let's get a roadmap for how we're going to explore this incredible new territory.
All right, here's the plan. First, we'll get to know our two digital titans and what makes them tick. Then we'll see how quantum power could give AI this unbelievable boost. And in a really cool twist, we'll see how AI is actually helping build the quantum future. We'll also have to talk about the serious stuff, the rules and risks. And finally, we'll bring it all home to you and what this whole revolution really means for your life.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. We need to understand the very nature of these two forces, because they're not just different, they perceive and process the world in fundamentally different ways.
Think about the huge leap we're taking here. Everything you use right now, your phone, your computer, it all operates in a world of black and white, zeros and ones, on or off. But quantum computing? It dives headfirst into a world of infinite shades of gray. It uses something called qubits, which can exist in superposition, meaning they can be a 0 and a 1 at the exact same time. That isn't just a small upgrade, it's a whole new dimension of computing.
And that right there, that's the heart of it. A qubit isn't just a simple switch. It holds a whole universe of possibilities inside it. You know, with just a few hundred of these, you could explore a problem space that's bigger than the number of atoms in the known universe. That's the mind-bending power we're just starting to tap into.
Now let's turn to our other giant, AI. The AI we have today is mostly powered by neural networks. They're these brilliant systems that mimic the human brain, learning from massive amounts of data to do some incredible things. But here's the catch. They're still playing by the old rules, the classical rules. So the real question is, what happens when these two fields finally come together?
And this quote just nails it. We are standing at a tipping point. Think about it. When powerful graphics cards became common, the AI revolution we're living through today just exploded. Well, the experts think we're on the verge of that happening all over again, but this time with quantum hardware. We're about to enter the era of quantum AI. So how exactly is quantum computing going to supercharge AI? We're not just talking about making things faster. We're talking about a fundamental shift in what intelligence itself can even be. This is the core promise. I want you to imagine problems that are so ridiculously complex, with so many moving parts, that our best supercomputers today would need thousands of years to even make a dent. We're talking about the kinds of challenges in finance, medicine, and climate science that are, right now, basically unsolvable, while quantum-powered AI is being designed to take them on.
And this isn't science fiction. We're talking about creating life-saving drugs by simulating molecules perfectly at the quantum level, or designing brand new materials that could change everything about energy and technology, or building climate models so accurate they can actually help us save the planet. These aren't just small improvements. These are potential solutions to some of humanity's biggest problems.
And look, this isn't some far-off dream. If you look at IBM's roadmap, we've already hit quantum utility. That means quantum computers are already solving certain problems that classical computers just can't handle. The next big milestone, quantum advantage, is expected by late 2026. This stuff is happening fast. But what's really wild is that this isn't a one-way street. In a fascinating twist, AI isn't just sitting on the sidelines waiting for quantum computers to get better. It's actually playing a huge role in building its own, much more powerful potential successor.
So we're seeing this incredible feedback loop start to spin up. Better AI helps us build more stable and powerful quantum computers, which will then fuel the development of even more advanced AI. It's this symbiotic relationship, and it's speeding up progress like crazy in both fields. But you might be asking, how specifically is AI helping out?
Well, according to researchers at places like IQM, AI is tackling three of the biggest headaches in quantum computing. First, error correction. Qubits are super fragile and make mistakes a lot. AI acts like a brilliant proofreader, finding and fixing those errors on the fly. Second, it's a master translator, figuring out the best way to map our problems onto the quantum hardware. And third, it's making these incredibly complex machines way more user-friendly
lowering the cost and the specialized training needed to actually run them.
But of course, with all this incredible power comes some pretty profound responsibility. As these two giants merge, we have to ask ourselves, what are the rules of the road? What are the ethical guardrails we need for this powerful new era?
As the world tries to figure out how to govern AI, two really different models are starting to emerge. Over in the European Union, you've got this comprehensive, top-down legal framework. Meanwhile, the United States is taking more of a patchwork approach, with a mix of federal guidelines and different laws popping up at the state level.
The EU's AI Act is really interesting because of its risk-based system. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. Some things, like government social scoring, are just flat-out banned. They're an unacceptable risk. Then you have high-risk areas like healthcare that face really strict rules. But lower-risk AI gets more freedom to innovate. It's a pretty practical way to try and balance progress with protection. But you know, even with these different approaches, there's a global consensus forming around a few core ideas. Pretty much everyone agrees we need to fight bias, we need fairness and transparency, we need to know who's accountable when things go wrong, and most importantly, we need to build public trust. And these principles, they're going to be even more critical when we step into the age of quantum AI. Okay, so why does any of this matter to you? In this last section, let's talk about how this revolution is going to reshape our economy, our careers, and, well, our world. Let's just start with the money. It's staggering. IBM projects that by 2035, the quantum computing industry will be worth over $1 trillion. This is not some niche little academic field. This is the next great economic wave, and it's building right now. And this momentum is being driven by a huge coordinated push from all sides. We're seeing massive investment from governments, from top universities, and you've got a fierce R&D race between the biggest tech companies in the world. Everyone wants a piece of this future. And this brings us to a super important point, especially if you're thinking about your career. A whole new world of jobs is opening up. We're seeing brand new roles being created right at the intersection of these two fields. It doesn't matter if your background is in physics, computer science, ethics, or policy, there is going to be a vital role for you to play in building this quantum AI future. Which brings us back to our final and maybe most profound question. As we merge the learning power of AI with the reality-bending potential of quantum computing, are we just building a better tool? Or are we laying the foundation for something that might one day succeed us? The answer to that question is going to define the next chapter of human history.